Hey there! Welcome to Pete's Corner. This episode, we're going to be talking about some safety standards we have here at LHG. What are we going to cover, you ask? I'm sure you're dying to know. Today we're going to talk about your SDS books, so your safety data sheet books, what they mean, what you're going to do with them, where they need to be located and stored. We're going to talk about our fire extinguishers, 2 different kinds we have in store, how you're going to use them, what they're for. We'll talk about our electrical boxes, how much space you need to have them, and how clear they need to be, and how perfectly they need to be labeled. And I'm also going to cover some PPE with your heat-resistant gloves and your non-slip shoes. So, come along with me on this wonderful journey.
We use hazardous chemicals throughout the restaurant on any given day, and you need to know how to handle them properly. Your SDS, or Safety Data Sheets book, is located where your chemicals are stored and must be reviewed with everyone every time a new chemical comes into the building for use. An SDS includes information such as the properties of each chemical, the physical, health, and environmental health hazards, protective measures, and safety precautions for handling, storing, and transporting the chemical. It provides guidance for each specific chemical on things such as PPE, or personal protective equipment, first aid procedures, spill cleanup procedures. As you are going through, the first couple of pages are going to show you all that information. Make sure they are printed well in dark ink and are very legible. Keeping your SDS book up to date and current of all chemicals you have in your restaurant is very key and OSHA standard. Once you are done using a chemical or you discontinue one, remove that SDS sheet from the binder and place it in a file in the office. You must keep these for at least 30 years, so plan on keeping them forever. The last important thing about your SDS sheets is there cannot be any new chemicals that come into your building without first having the SDS in its binder before use. Any chemical, including any chemicals your cleaning companies are using, whether that be Kaboom or anything as simple as that, we still have to have the SDSs in the book before use. So if you're missing those, get those in there. Throughout your restaurant, you will see 2 different kinds of fire extinguishers. One, being of a metal color, is used for putting out grease fires and contains a chemical. This is a chemical fire extinguisher. The other kind you will see is of a red color, containing powder, which is designed for putting out electrical fires. According to OSHA standards, there needs to be 36 inches of free, unimpeded space in front of the electrical boxes. Furthermore, every breaker switch must be labeled properly to which outlets it coincides to.
Okay, so in our kitchens, there's 2 things of PPE or personal protective equipment that you need to be using. These are considered rotisserie gloves. They are protecting up to 500 degrees for 15 seconds. No, that does not mean you can reach your hand with this glove on into the fryer for 15 seconds. It will still hurt. So if you drop something in, no, you can't use this to save it. What this is for is to protect from splashes, spills, any sort of thing that can hit your arms while you're cleaning your fryers, filtering, any sort of thing through that process. Now, these things are from Trimark. They're already on your order guide, and they're great. They go all the way up your forearms. They go up my forearms. They're actually 17 inches. They're good. Cool. So, anytime you're working with this guy, your filter machine, touching this thing is going to be hot. Anything around here is going to be hot. Of course, you're supposed to turn your fryer off before you start filtering, but when that oil is still hot, you're still going to need some sort of protection. So even when you go put this guy on, this is going to be warm from sitting underneath your fryer. So use these gloves. For years I've seen people use towels. That's what these are for. So you turn this guy on, spinner in there. Now you got 2 hands working instead of 1. Cool. It goes all spun on, and you're safe. Now if you're to dump the oil right now, anytime you're close, you need to make sure you stand back. Don't get yourself burnt. It's hot. No matter what you do, it's going to be hot. There has to be certain warmth for it to come out and for everything to be cleaning out effectively. If it's straight cold, it's not going to work as well. So, these guys are your friends. Make sure your teams are using them at all points. Other piece of PPE is your non-slip shoes. Like these guys, non-slips. Doesn't mean you can't slip. There's still a little bit of oil residue on the ground. You're still gonna have a little bit of slip. But regular shoes, you're gonna get in trouble, you're gonna hurt yourself. Okay? Use your PPE. Once you're done using your PPE gloves, heat-resistant gloves, make sure you spray them off. If there's any residue, make sure you scrub it off. It's gonna keep the oil from eating through the gloves themselves. Then you're gonna want to hang them up afterwards. Hang them up in a designated place, let them dry, you're good to go.